Morning. How y'all doing up there? Got my old coffee here. Got to mow the yard today. Get that thing going. Got a couple of tires that popped off the wheel, so going to get that going, get out here after a while and get that going. Get it off the blocks, or the buckets, I should say. Anyhow, obviously we're out here about the old Jeep. Just a couple things. I've had the Jeep now 5 days. Put my old coffee up there on the water buckets. We've had the Jeep now for 5 days. Just gonna go over a couple thoughts. Hope everybody's doing good out there. First and foremost with the Jeep. I put the first video out the other day, had a ton of comments. I always tell everyone, thank you for the likes, the subscription, and the comments. I love to converse with everybody. There were, and I can't remember the usernames. I'd like to give them a shout out and thank you, because they pointed out, had a couple people in the first video going over the 24 Jeep Wrangler. I had said, of course, this is a Sport S. You've got Sport, Sport S, Willys, Sahara, and Rubicon. I had stated once you get above the Sport S that the mirrors are on frame. That was incorrect. And thank you guys. There's a couple of you that pointed that out. Sure appreciate that. I went back, and here's the thing. Before I got this Jeep, I had been looking at Bronco 2-doors and Jeeps. Jeeps just hold a special place in my heart. If you've watched my videos, and if I have not told you, I've had 3 JLs, an 18 6-speed manual, Sport, roll up, roll down windows, had the smallest screen in it. I had a 2-door Sport S 2019, more upgraded, had the garage door built in, heated seats, heated steering wheel. I got some videos on that. And then I went back to a 2018 JLU. Point being, I really couldn't find any 2-door Broncos. I could, but they're kind of stupid on their prices. The dealers, not necessarily Ford. The dealers want to jack them up. There's a couple around here that do not do that. They just didn't have any availability. Enough about that. In my search between Jeeps and Broncos, and maybe aftermarket accessories, I got mixed up. You cannot, and thanks to the 2 people that noted this, I sure truly appreciate it. You cannot, because I don't want to misinform anyone, you cannot get the mirrors. No, when you take the door off, the mirrors come off. Doesn't matter, even on the 24s. I went back and I researched, got on the old interweb and looked, went on YouTube and looked at the Jeep events and everything, and I did not see that. So thanks, guys, for pointing that out. Secondly, somebody commented and said, you got so excited about the interior, you forgot to show the engine. So we're going to do that here in a second. I didn't even mention the engine, so we're going to talk about that and just my overall thoughts for the first 5 days. And one thing, and especially with having Jeeps, this probably wouldn't be in the manual, but the other 2 Jeeps I had, we're going to get out here and show you what I'm talking about. Can't believe I never noticed this. And for those watching, let me know if this is something on all the Jeep Wranglers. Feel kind of stupid not knowing this till I got this Jeep out messing around with it the other day in the driveway. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let's get the Jeep backed out and go over the engine and my initial thoughts. Okay, that's right. The camera is just laying here. I didn't bring my tripod out this morning. This is just the top of a bucket. But before we go over the engine, which I neglected to do the other day, I'm just going to fire it up and see if you can tell by listening which engine this has in it. So here we go. I'm going to go fire it up. See if you can tell before we go over it. Any guesses? It has the turbo, the 2.0 turbo. The other Jeep I was looking at that I think I stated in the other video, which was the 2023, had the V6. I have had both. I had like I said, I've had 3 JLs before. Obviously, the 6-speed manual had the 3.6 liter V6. The second Jeep, the 2-door Sport S, had the V6, and then the JLU I had, the last one, had the 2.0 turbo. My personal opinion, I don't think you could go wrong either way. But I really, of course, my Ranger that I had, I've had 2 Ford Rangers. They both had the EcoBoost. So I really like the turbos. It's got plenty of pep. We're still in the break-in period on this, so I'm not that I would just get on it anyways, but yeah. So that I neglected to say, and my understanding is in 2024, they have discontinued the diesel. One of the lots I looked at, they've got a diesel. It's a 2022 Sahara Sharp Jeep. It's got the diesel in it. It was a 4-door JLU, and that's another thing. In the 2024 models, they are no longer called JLUs. It's just a Jeep 4-door. They've dropped the JLU in 2024. So I looked at a 2022 JLU that had the diesel in it. They were asking a nice price for that diesel. But anyhow, your options will be, of course, you can get the Rubicon with the 392. But besides that, you get the 2.0 turbo or the 3-liter V6. We're going to close this hood. I'm going to get inside the Jeep, tell you my thoughts, and go over kind of the topic of this video that I did not know. Okay, we'll see here in a second. Okay, there's my little Sasquatch going up the mountain. Here we are. I've switched to my GoPro because every time I try to video on the inside of the Jeep, the phone connects to the Apple CarPlay. It shuts the camera off, and then I start it back up, and then once I get to talking, if I say the word off, it'll shut that off. So anyways, here we are on the interior. We currently have 244 miles. I'm averaging 18.2 miles per gallon. That will go up as I get a little more miles on it. And I've been sitting out in the driveway playing with the entertainment system. The infotainment system, I should say. So we've been doing a lot of idling. So that mileage go up. So I'm pleased with 18.2 miles a gallon. So my overall thoughts on the Jeep so far, I've just had it 5 days. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 2 days, Tuesday. I've had it 5 days. And if you've watched my other videos, if something messes up, I don't care how new it is, how happy I am to get it, I'll point it out and let it be known. But so far, here's the thing. As far, and I've had a couple people ask this, as far as the road noise goes, excuse me, this does, and the wife, when we picked up the Jeep and we were coming home and she goes, this is quieter than your previous Jeeps. So it doesn't have the, you know, some of them have the layer up there for insulation, and somebody had commented that they had read or thought they had seen that the insulation comes from the floor, you know, up underneath, some extra insulation, but it does seem to be quieter. Being a Jeep, as far as driving, it's a Jeep. It really is the same as my other Jeeps. The steering isn't the tightest. It's a Jeep. So yeah, I can't really tell the difference between this and the previous Jeeps that I have owned. the screen. As I've stated a couple times in this, the 3 Jeeps I had previous, 2 of them were sport, the basic sport, roll up, roll down windows, the smallest little, if you remember the little screens that had the buttons on the side. Both of those, the infotainment center, it would, I'll never forget the first Jeep. We were at our first Jeeping event in Tennessee, and we were going to do the first night of the event, we were going to do a glow run where you decorate your Jeeps. It's a night event, everybody gets in line, had the top off, ready to listen to a little bit of tunes and go out through the country and the hills and on the trails at night, and it quit playing. It would, I turned the Jeep off, I tried to reset it, and later that night it decided to start playing. Very, very frustrating, and it would do it periodically. The Sport S I had, that had the bigger screen, if you will, that was more upgraded, it would do the same thing. And it would, one day I got in the Jeep, started it up, and I had it set on a Sirius XM channel, don't know what channel, what, and it would just change channels. And I thought, well, maybe I pushed the button, you know, the Jeeps, I really like that, if that'll focus. You got the buttons on the back. I thought, well, maybe I accidentally, you know, pushed the button. Nope, just went crazy. So I turned the Jeep off. I had to open the door. I was leaving work. I closed the door. Tried everything, and it quit doing that. But all the way home, and it just so happened to be my wife, it would start calling her, and I would end it. It would call her, and I would end it. So she finally calls me because she thinks something's wrong. So when she called me, I'm like, no, this stupid system is going crazy. Sorry about that. She goes, no, I just wanted to make sure everything's okay. And I got home, turned it off, turned it on, and it kind of fixed itself. So every once in a while, it would have a mind of its own and go crazy, or just flat out not do anything. Your thoughts and comments on that, those of you that have Jeep Wranglers, regardless of what package you have. Didn't do it a lot, but all 3 Jeeps would have their moments with this. With that being said, 244 miles, as I stated. This, no issues. There are times in the 5 days, there's been about 3 times that I'll start the Jeep up. You saw when I got in it. As soon as it senses the key fob, it'll flash up the Jeep, turn the Jeep on, then you have your system come on. There's been, in 5 days, 2 or 3 times that I've driven it, that screen will stay black. It'll just stay blank. And I'm like, okay, I'll back out. The backup camera doesn't come on right away. And then it's like the backup camera will kick something in gear and it'll come on. It doesn't last that long, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. I don't know what it is. And then there was one time that I put it in reverse, and you'll see the backup camera. Put it in reverse, and that was just blue. Put it back in park, put it back in reverse, it was blue. Turned the Jeep off, opened the door, kind of get everything reset, stepped out, got the key fob out of the Jeep, got back in, and it seemed to fix it. So every Jeep I've had, including this seems to be a little quirky, no major, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. If that keeps it up, then we're going to have to go back to the dealer and see. You know, the old saying, it's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand. I don't understand it. It's just quirky. Besides that, loving the Jeep. And that really isn't a major issue. Maybe it just takes a second to wake up sometimes. But yeah, that's that. Okay, on to, I'm going to put this on the dash, put my seatbelt on so we're not hearing the ding, ding, dinging. Here's kind of the, I just wanted to state the corrections to start out the video. Here's the thing I didn't know. And if you've watched my videos, if I mess up, I don't edit it out. You know, it's just me and you all out there. Don't claim to know everything. And, you know, I've had 3 prior Jeeps. One more time, right? Right here. That's your downhill. You know, you have to have it in 4 low. And I got to noticing this. Now, I'm getting older. I don't remember as well as I used to, but it seems like especially my JLU didn't have this little symbol. I've been off-roading in other Jeeps. This is going to go off-road. Nothing major, nothing crazy, but we do some pretty challenging trails. It's a blast. I never have used, when I go off trail, you know, if it's snowing and I'm on the road, this winter, usually in the winter around here, we get a couple real good snows. I'll put it in 4 high to get out in the snow when I have to go somewhere. When I go on trails, you know, if I'm just going down a field road and it's muddy, I'll slap it in 4 high, go on my way. If I'm on a trail and it's a, you know, a trail that's got some challenges and you're going to need it, I'll put it in 4 low, I'll put it in manual, and I will keep it in 2nd gear for the most part and just do the trails. Never have used the downhill feature. My question is, out of all the Jeeps I've had, did I just never know this? Is this something that I'm fixing to show you that isn't on every Jeep Wrangler / Gladiator? They're set up basically the same way. Is this something that I just didn't notice after all these years of having different Jeeps and just figured it out in this Jeep? Am I a slow learner? Is this something I just figured out? Let's go over it. Put it in reverse. I'm gonna put doing this one-handed here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it in reverse. All right. And I do live on a hill, so I was just out here playing the other day with it. And I noticed this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put it in 4 high, and we'll go ahead and use our vehicle off-road pages. Even I don't want the review camera. Let's go to dashboard, off-road pages. There we go. There's our accessory gauges. We'll do pitch and roll. We're at a 6-degree pitch just to show you. So let me get down this hill. I'm going to turn around. Because we're going to get on that little hill there. There's a little incline. Let's get her backed up here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put it in 4 low. Okay, we're in 4 low. We're going to put it in reverse. And just shoot off over here to the side a little piece. Turn around here to this little incline to where it won't, because you know when you got it in 4 low, there's our 10, we're at 10 degrees, 11, 13 degrees. Okay, I'm in 4 low. I'm gonna take my foot off the brake. It's not going up the hill. There's our angle. It's holding. Here's the thing. And if this is the case in every Wrangler, and I have used for the last time, all my Jeeps have been on trails. The 2 automatics, I've never used this. But the other day I was playing with it and I pushed it. So we're going, here we go. Select speed on, and we're moving. And it says we're doing 0.6 miles per hour. So basically, okay, we're gonna put the brake on, put it in reverse. It's gonna hold that 0.6. Now my Ford Ranger, my first Ford Ranger was a FX4, which had the, I think Jeep calls this select speed control. The Ford Ranger calls it trail control. My Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road called it, I can't remember, but it's basically off-road cruise control. We're back in manual. And the way Jeep works, and most of you are probably saying, yeah, I knew that. Why are you just figuring this out? I don't know. And it's just taking its gentle time. But the way Jeep works, we're in manual, first gear. Get my steering wheel out of the way. And now I'm going down my driveway at a 7-degree pitch. But when you change gears, let's go up. It'll take it to 1.2 mile an hour. We'll go to third gear. It'll change it again. We'll change it again. We're at 2.5. We're at 3.1. Okay, we're gonna put it back in drive. We're gonna turn it off. And there you go. I never knew. So, if you're watching this video, just put in the comments, yeah, all Jeeps have that. Did not know. When I pushed that button the other day just to test the downhill, I noticed on the screen it said use your shifter to adjust your speed, basically, and that may have been exactly what it said, or that may be layman's terms. Use your adjuster to adjust your speed. And I don't, this isn't anything, because I went ahead and looked, did some YouTube video searches on this, and there are Jeep models that aren't 24s that have this. I never knew. So y'all just let me know. Is this something I've had Jeeps all this time and didn't know that it had a, per se, cruise control off-road? Drop in the comments, let me know. All right, we're going to get this going. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.